quickly, so I was forgetting.
Did you learn a lesson today?
Say?
Cheat sheet always.
And normally there's a big poster on the stage so you can read that.
My mom wrote cue cards. Yeah, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, this never happens. You're welcome.
Yeah. Can we turn these microphones up a tiny bit?
Hello.
Otherwise, I will yell.
Hello? Can you
I will yell.
They were.
I don't even know yet.
Hello.
Hi, team.
Yeah, they're all.
How is everyone? How was karaoke last night? I thought I heard no. That's what I heard. But it was so good.
Talk about it!
Don't. Worst things happen.
Let's never be
We
repeated.
lost a life. Okay, nothing.
Someone asked about the wayward shirts because those are so cool.
Say that again.
I said, well, someone asked them about the wayward shirts
Oh,
because those
yes.
are so cool.
Where are you? Where are you? Stand up. Who did this? Turn around. Turn around. Look, there's only so much of my ass they want to see. Where are you? Wave at us. Somebody made them for us at the PJ party.
Like standing up. We have these bright lights.
And we love them so much.
Thank you.
And we all just
Yay!
fall asleep.
The end.
Hey, you saw us run on here. That's all the energy I have for the day.
All right.
Well, fuck you guys. Just kidding. Let's start out that way. Let's take some questions.
Why do it sound like they just won a new car?
Let's take some questions, and here's a new car.
My question is, what are the biggest similarities you have with your character and what are the biggest differences?
We're starting off real easy, eh? Well done.
Well, I don't hate the boys. Let's just start there. And I think the biggest similarity is we're both very grounded people. And I like to embody the image when I walk in life. I like to envision myself as like body like a mountain, heart like an ocean, mind like the sky. And that's where I think me and Billy have a lot of similarities because she's very ethereal in a way that she can move through planes quite smoothly and move into different realms and be herself and be grounded in it and not need approval or anything from anybody, really. And I feel very similar to that. I always try and just be grounded and myself and embody as much of those qualities as I can. But I don't really hate a lot of people in my everyday life, so that's where our biggest difference is, and I think Billy's got grudges.
Oh yeah, she's got people she wants to take out, literally. I think that the similarity between Donna and I is that she attempts to be a sunny disposition when given an opportunity to see the bright side. She will do that. I attempt to do the same. I'm aware that I am a large energy, and I am very aware of my energy and its influence on a room, and I attempt to use that power for good. And I think the biggest differences would be that Donna has not made peace with her body, and Brianna has.
You guys are giving such deep answers.
Yes.
I, like Amara, think Dean is cute. So that's easy. Unlike Amara, I do not smite people. At
Yes.
least not knowingly. I don't know. Yeah, I think I don't hold a grudge quite as long as Amara does, because I don't have the energy. And that's why I think she was so pissed off for all of season 11. She was just tired. It takes a lot of energy to be so mad. I don't have that kind of energy, so we're very different that way.
I think both Jody and I are very willing to risk being hurt for love. We think love's worth it. I think that Jody tends to be very black and white thinking, whereas I make an active effort to live in shades of gray and allow different perspectives to all be true. So that's it.
I think in terms of Meg, because I studied history so much and I like the kind of macrocosm view of humanity, we connect on that level. Like, I love that she's never fazed by the small blips in life. She's like, no, well, in the grand scheme of things, that's not gonna matter. And I think we're similar in that way. I think we're similar in our sarcasm, because I'm naturally actually very sarcastic, but I worry about hurting people's feelings. So I tend to temper it, whereas Meg doesn't have that worry. So that's a major difference. She's not fazed by that. And then also, she kills more people than I do.
Marginally.
Depends on the month, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for that question.
Thank you. And Brianna, can I have some of your energy?
Not today.
Okay.
I send it to you. Just a lot of caffeine. That's all it is. Hello.
Hi, I was like to ask, like, I got a question for all of you. Like, if you like in Supernatural, what character would you rather be than your characters? Like, what characters would you rather be than your characters?
No, I like that. Did it die? Yeah. It's dead.
Oh.
I'd like to play Lucifer! Oh, you will still hear me, motherfuckers!
She is a trained actor. She knows how to project her voice.
Since I was just talking about Dean, I want to be Dean. Because I want to know what it's like to just walk around with the superpower of being like the most handsome person on the planet. Just to like have that in your back pocket just in case. That's all.
I want to be baby because I'd be in every episode.
Yeah! You wouldn't have to do that much.
People like me all. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I would love to, I think naturally I'm actually a lot more like Charlie, so I like that character, but also I think it would be fun to be Cass, because I am also as socially awkward as Cass is, so like, it's so cool.
I don't think that's true. I think you're perfect in social situations.
Thank you.
I think I would want to be, if I could be another character, I would want to be Rowena. She's got a lot of power. A lot of power.
Cute outfits.
Cute outfits. Just looks great all the time.
Good makeup.
You know? I'd probably go with Rowena.
Thank you, honey.
Thanks.
Great question. Hi.
Hi. You guys are really inspirational, so it's just starting with that. My name's Abby. Hi.
Hi, Abby.
So my question is particularly for Kim and Bree about Jody and Donna, what they have been doing when they don't have on-screen time on the show, like with Alex and Claire. Even, you know, like, Amara, how was your vacation with God? Like, you know?
I'm sorry.
What just happened? What happened?
Who was at our meet and greet? Yeah, you know what we're laughing about.
Well, now you gotta fill the rest of us in.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Share,
This is very
share.
dark.
It's not working again. Okay. All right. So here's the extended dance remix of what we came up with, because I've had a lot of coffee, but I'm still exhausted. So I said, well, the reason that Wayward actually was not picked up is because they know. Here's the secret. Jody's actually crazy. And behind that, like, everything's cool, I guess I'm gonna Han Solo this shit because nobody else is gonna step in and help the boys, is good night, Claire. Good night, Alex. Good night, Patience. Good night, Donna. Quiet, Donna. Stay in bed. I have room for another Sam. Send me more children. I love them all. I'll keep them safe.
And the Wayward movie was written.
Man, oh man, it's just such a timely question. We had made jokes about that forever, so thank you. Lovely callback.
So, and I was going to say something that feels like a really weird segue, which was just when you said that we're inspiring, I really, really wanted to leave knowing that you all inspire us on a daily basis. Life is freaking hard. It is inspiring to get up in the morning and find some kind of joy enough to keep going, and we all need to keep inspiring each other, I think, to keep going, and you do that for me, and I think you do that for all of us, and I just want, I want to throw that back, so.
Thank you.
And I'll keep you safe. Go back to bed.
Just the idea that the boys would be so oblivious to it, be like, yeah, we've got a nice lady down the street, Jody Mills, good people. Yes. Come to me, children. Just so creepy. And that they're just like, you're good people, children. It got me this morning real good, real good. Well done, Kim Rhodes, everyone.
I love all you women, and then Kim, and I'm sorry.
You got this.
Donna, and then Jody. I met you last year, and you touched my heart, in a big way. My question is for Kim. Being the mom on Sweet Lake. I want to know what you think of Cole and Dylan now, and then the movie 5 Feet Apart. Did you watch it? And then what is your feeling if you did?
Oh, that is so lovely. Now, to be fair, I haven't watched anything besides Good Omens in 10 years. So, I don't watch a lot of television because by the time my kid's in bed, I go to bed too. So I haven't seen that. But as to what my feelings about those boys are is, I am so proud and yet not at all surprised that they are such amazing individuals. They always have been. So apparently my sweet spot is working with beautiful blonde brothers who turn out to be amazing human beings. Thank you.
You should watch that movie. It's deep.
I have heard, and I love them. It is through no aversion, but it really genuinely is. If I have an hour and a half to spare, I will sleep. I'm awful. Thank you. I know, Riverdale, there was one where Dylan played a murderer, a psychopath. That was creepy. Yeah, I know. They're killing it. They're amazing.
Hi. My question is for all of you. So I know most of you have theater backgrounds. What play would you be in if you could be in any play, and why?
I want to play Iago. I'm just going to jump right in. Not the parrot, not the parrot, not the parrot. We're just not with this. But I have an entire headcanon as to how Iago can be played female and justified. Like, fucking, she snaps. How many times can you avoid the best person for the promotion before she finally says, fuck this shit, you're all gonna die?
Oh, come on. Yeah. I have always wanted to play Mama Rose and Gypsy. You know, any day now they'll be knocking, going, you could play 60, right? There's every time I see a show, I'm like, oh my God, I want to be in that. When I was in New York in July, I saw Waitress for the first time. It was destroyed and brought back to life in a matter of 2 hours. It is such a beautiful play, but honestly, rarely do I go and see live theater thinking, meh. I am always deeply moved. I always have the most incredible cathartic experience when I see live theater. I love seeing all kinds of mediums of art, but there's something about live theater that just moves me and changes me. Go see a play if you haven't seen a play. It's very important that we keep this, theatrical experience alive, even though it's not on Twitter. Yeah, you can applaud that.
I love doing theater, and I recently did a play called Father Comes Home from the Wars, and it's by Susan Laurie Parks, and it's a 3-part trilogy, and so you don't know how she's going to write it because she hasn't finished writing everything yet, but that is a trilogy that I would love to see go all the way through, because it's just talking about the play. It deals with the issues of mental slavery, which I think, with the backdrop of the Civil War and going off and fighting for one side or the other, and what makes it so relatable is the fact that everybody is trapped in some way in their mind that makes it relevant to today. And we start the play because she asked the question, Susan Laurie Parks asked the question, how did we get here as a country? And she started with 1863, and she's going to move through the time to see how how we got here, basically. And my character is a character named Penny, and she is just somebody who finds love no matter what. She's, even at the worst of times when you have nothing, she uses her words, she uses her intention, she uses her drive to show people how she cares, because she can't buy them things, she can't do things, and we got to do the play where we had no set, so you were really out there with nothing but your words, and that was how you gave, shared, expressed. And so to follow that all the way through would be a dream come true. And fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
I grew up in the South, and I've always had a soft spot for Tennessee Williams. And I mean, it's for so many reasons, because the language is just so delicious, and it's so not intellectual, and I'm a very intellectual person, which doesn't really help me much. But I love too that he's somebody who, I mean, that man had a lot of demons. And he wrote characters who have a lot of demons, but they are these people who are grabbing onto life and are fighting as hard as they can. And they're making mistakes, they're completely imperfect, they hurt each other. But there's something about the human spirit that he captures that is so relatable, even though these characters are speaking in like much more poetic ways than anyone I encounter on a day-to-day basis. There's just... I've done Cat, actually.
Oh,
yeah, I want to do Orpheus Descending. I'll do any of them though. Sweet Bird of Youth. What's the one they're reviving on Broadway right now? Is it Sweet Bird of Youth? Rose Tattoo, thank you. Marissa Tomei is doing that. Yeah, Tennessee Williams. The end.
And I'm going to non-answer in that I just love being on stage with a bunch of people who really appreciate theater. Like, we all grew up loving it. Like, it's one of my favorite experiences is going to a play. The last actually big production that I saw was with Lisa, which when I saw her husband in King Lear. That was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Brilliant. But also, I want to make another point, which is theater should be accessible. It's a big problem. Even like now, we had a woman in a wheelchair win the Tony, and her theater wasn't accessible. When she went to accept the Tony, she couldn't get on stage. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to start clocking in our daily experience. And one of the things that I have experienced is going to a play is often very hard. I was lucky enough when I went with Lisa that she was helping me to like the little porta potty that they had because they realized, oh wait, people in wheelchairs can't get up to the bathroom. And they actually were trying, but it's a bit of a mess. So just something to be aware of.
I mean, I hate that, but I love that you brought that up. Jesus. Pardon me, excuse me. I'll see myself. Hello.
Hi.
I don't know. Hi.
Hi, my name's Miranda. My question for you guys is, if you had your character's skills or superpowers in real life, what would you do with them?
Oh, I'm really good at eating pizza and watching Netflix. I think I do have Jody's superpowers. I'm Jody, that's it.
By the way, I think Kim is the person that if she asks you to come over to like watch Netflix and chill, she means it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I mean.
No mixed messages there.
No.
But this is fun. But she does have skills, and I just love that she's respected without, she commands respect without demanding respect, if that makes sense.
Ooh, I like
You like that? Put that on a fucking t-shirt. Yeah, I think she's cool. I would love to embody a little more of that. Just being, she's super grounded in kind of what she, career-wise, and what she has to offer the world that way.
I mean, I take out the people I didn't want, and I bring back the ones I did. Very selfishly. I ignore all the rules. But that's what I would do. I would.
I was just reminded, because I took a picture in that lovely Impala that's out in the other side of the curtains. I was reminded of the episode where the Impala was speeding at me and I just, like casually held up my hand and stopped it. I would like to have that when I'm dealing with like LA traffic. Kind of like make my way through or New York, but I don't have to drive in New York. I mean, I guess while I'm crossing the street, I am a pedestrian, which is an action sport here. That's the way I guess I would apply Amara's skills very practically. I don't want to get into the business of like taking people out because then what if I said, oops. Oh, but I guess I could bring people back to life too because I did that. Oh, that's just so complicated. That's not so physical.
It's a lot of work.
I just want to stop traffic. That's all.
I love the fact that May never wavers, like she doesn't lose her position. And I think in some ways it's because of a lack of empathy, so it's not necessarily the best thing, but one of the things that I don't always love about myself is that like I fall into people. So like if I like someone that even like a friend or whatever, it's a good thing that I'm totally with them, but on the other hand, I will lose sight of myself. And I love that Meg does do that. So I feel like I have something to learn from that, and I feel like that is a superpower, to kind of not lose yourself. Thanks.
Thank you.
My question is, if there was an episode where all your characters were together, what would happen?
Fun would happen.
What would happen?
Awesomeness would happen.
Watch Netflix and eat pizza? Do we need to aim higher, or is that, because that sounds nice to me.
I'm okay with that, you and me. We'll be the B storyline.
It'll flash back, the most exciting thing will be like, oh, look at the toppings on this one. This is new.
No, seriously, pineapple, we're gonna have a long discussion about it. Trust me.
But
And
you're
then
not
these
the
three are in Vegas, yes.
Yeah. We'd be in Vegas.
You don't want to be in Vegas?
They do.
They made you.
Well, we could go, Amara went to Reno, so we could go to Reno.
Yeah, I've never been to Reno.
Me neither, actually.
You happy about this answer?
I feel like Meg would lose once and then just kill a lot of them.
And then Jody would put her to
There we
bed.
go. That's the storyline. We all go to Vegas for fun. Meg loses everything, gets so angry, starts killing everybody, and we all gotta like get Meg to stop killing everybody.
Which brings me into the picture.
Death shows up.
And then Jody puts her to bed.
Yeah.
Meg, I'll keep you safe.
Did you want a teddy bear? Did you want your teddy bear?
Somebody please now write and illustrate a children's book of Jody. I know you guys have the imagination and the ability.
That's
Someone do it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hi there, my name's
Hi.
Katie. My question is, I'm an aspiring actor and I'm trying really hard to you guys inspire me so much. So I guess my question is what inspires you guys to be your beautiful, wonderful selves?
You? I seriously would not step into the person I am if you guys hadn't laid the table for me. I am not by nature not an asshole. I don't know how else to say that. My fundamental nature is pretty selfish and fuck off. I generally want to make people feel good so that I feel good. And then I stepped into this fandom and you fuckers said, or you could authentically show up as who you are and offer us that. And let us love you for it. So, yeah, you do. That's my final answer.
I'm a fan. But also, let's take a moment to just quickly reflect on what Kim was saying of the fact that when you guys show up to make us feel seen, we in turn make you feel seen, and then that cycle needs to continue outside of this room. Right? That's how this world should work. We should all open our hearts and go, I feel seen, I feel loved. You feel seen, you feel loved. You go and pass that on, and then they'll pass it on, and then they'll pass that on.
And that's so true. All those, the human connections that you get that you don't even expect. I mean, holy crap, when I agreed to come do a few episodes of the show, I had no idea the worlds that would open up and the people I would get to know, and I have not been in an episode with any of these actresses, but I've gotten to spend time with them and appreciate their craft and appreciate their beautiful souls. And we were asking about theater earlier. One of the things I love about theater is that it's all happening in real time, and you can never capture that moment again. It never happens again the same way. And that, for me, is one of the most exciting things about the conventions, because when we have fun when we're shooting stuff for you guys, but then when we actually get to meet you and get to know you and get to find out how that work impacts you and find out how the stories continue, like Brianna was saying, that's the real rewarding thing, because all the rest of it kind of just crumbles away and you lose sight of stuff, but the human connections that you get to make keep going. That's pretty rad.
And I would say, in terms of finding your inspiration, the thing about acting is it's weird that it ever became an ego thing for some people, but to me, there's no part of us that's really in the equation. It's about being fascinated by other people, wanting to tell their story to others. There's two others, and you're just trying to be the conduit to make those connections. So I think there's that. Find the people and the stories that fascinate you and inspire you, and ride that wave. And then also I will say you all taught me a lot about where I was off in my thinking. I had found the fact that to me it inspired me to tell strong female stories. It was one of the things that I found where I found my place. I was like, okay, I can be an example to other women of something we can be that's different from what we've seen. Going back, and then when I got sick, I thought, well, I'm not really an example of a strong woman, so I lost my inspiration. I didn't want to keep acting because I associated strength with physical ability. And you all taught me, I was totally wrong on that. And you all taught me what real strength is, and you taught me the importance of this story, of the inner strength that we can have. And so that's why I'm out here wanting to act again, and that's completely you inspiring me.
Didn't almost hit us. Don't be dramatic. We saw you on the sidewalk.
We had like 4 inches to spare.
You did fine. You are a very good driver.
You needed me there.
Sorry about that, Kim, Brianna, and Emily. Lisa, you did a great job in karaoke.
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Yep, and Rachel, my son also has a disability. It's slight, but it's not noticeable, physically. But I want to say thank you for inspiring all those who are disabled, that you can show them that anybody can do whatever they want as when they put their mind to it. So thank you for having a great time.
Thank you.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is for all of you. I love seeing this panel with all these strong, confident women up here, and you guys are my role models for that. But I know that strength and confidence like that doesn't come overnight, and I still struggle with it sometimes. So what do you guys do to help build your self-confidence, or when you're having a bad day?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that I don't think strength and confidence is an end point. I don't think you reach it and then go, ha-ha, I'm done.
Got it.
It is like, I'm there. And then the worst part is when you start to fall backwards and you go, I'm slipping, I'm slipping, I'm slipping. And you can sense that. You panic. And then you slip further, you slip further. So what I've been doing lately is when I sense myself starting to spiral in any kind of negative pattern, whether it's about a friendship, whether it's about something to do with my career, I witness the thought. I witness the negative thought and I separate it from my being. So instead of identifying with a negative thought as who I am, I witness it as something I am experiencing. And then I thank it. Because ultimately, that experience, that feeling, is eventually there to teach us a lesson. So I wait for the lesson, I give gratitude for the lesson, and then I work my way up again. And maybe I'll get a little bit higher, and then you might fall back down again. But what a glorious, confusing, complex thing it is to be, as they say, a soul having a human experience on this planet. Because it is complicated, because it's continually up and down and up and down, and life is just a journey of experiences. But for me, what has really helped me in the last while is witnessing my negative thoughts as something that is not me, but just something I'm experiencing.
Well, I think you said something so key when you said it's something you still struggle with. I think that it's something, it's part of being human. I think we all struggle with it, and I think one of the lessons that I am trying to learn over and over is that I don't have to then see the struggle and berate myself for that and feel like, I already learned this lesson, why am I having to learn it again? Because sometimes, you just gotta learn things again. But every experience is different, and I love what Brianna said about getting to learn.
Me is actually the effect I create on others, and I know that it stops me from being able to be there for others if I'm totally thinking about myself. So it becomes a selfish proposition if I am just thinking about what is wrong with me. And so the way I trick myself into what appears as confidence most of the time is that I take that moment to check, and I'm like, it's not that important. it's not what really matters. What really matters is what good we do in the world. What really matters is what I'm leaving behind. And I can't do that if I'm worried about the words I'm using or the way I look or whatever it is that is making me feel not confident. So that helps me. And also, I will write in a journal, just stream of consciousness, and that helps me to do what Brianna's talking about too, witnessing. It separates it from being, you know, me, and it becomes just a thought, and then I can kind of play with it. So.
Do you want to do what I do right now with me? Yeah. All right. I do this a lot of times when I'm nervous, and especially like opening nights, all that stuff. So picture a line down the center of your body, and now focus on the left side of your body. Your left foot, your left shin, your left knee, your left leg, your left arm, the left side, all the left side. Now let go of that and think of the right side of your body. Your right foot, your right shin, your right knee, your right thigh, hip, core, all the way up. And now focus on the center. Bring them together. And that feeling you get takes you out of your head and puts you back in your body. Because for me, whenever I start thinking too much, I know I have to do a physical exercise. And I think the biggest misconception, especially when I do it too, because I tell people, like, breathe all the time. But I think what people forget is you don't actually breathe with your lungs and, you know, and all of that stuff. You actually breathe from your mind. Once your mind is connected to your body, you can't actually think about whatever it is that's spiraling you and be in your body at the same time, so you have to choose. So you can do that exercise anytime you want, whenever you need to feel centered again. And it's a nice way of like actually getting out of your head and into your body in a real way. You know, when that heat immediately rises and you're seeing red, you're hot, going to, let me just feel the left side of my body, let me feel the right side of my body. Okay, now bring it together and be in the center. And now start breathing and focusing on that. And I almost always feel 100% better. And that shift in how I'm feeling is like a doorway into new thoughts. Because once I've changed my state of being, I now have access to the thoughts that are in those higher realms, because I'm not dwelling, or I'm not sitting in that pit of my stomach and feeling anxious and nervous. I'm actually in a different place. And Einstein said you can't solve the same problem with the same thinking. So you actually have to do something to change your thinking, and the only way to do that is to change how you're feeling, and the only way to change how you're feeling is to go into your body. So exercises like that are always going to be really helpful to bring you back to your present moment, bring you back to your center, and just ground you in a real way. And so I hope that actually helps and something you can take away.
Yesterday cupcakes, today Nirvana. Thank you, Lisa Berry.
Remember when I used to talk about 12 waffles? I mean, still can.
Just here for that.
12 waffles forever. And Nirvana.
Thanks for your question.
Back to you, love. Hello.
I kind of have a two-parter. The first part's directed at Kim and Brianna, second part's at everybody. First, I want to say to Brianna, I really love what you're doing with the No Makeup Saturdays, because as someone who never ever wears makeup, it's really helping me feel comfortable in my own skin, and I really appreciate that beyond words. And the second part of my question is, you guys all play powerful, badass women, and I just want to know what it means to you to be in a position where you can inspire other people to be the powerful, badass people they can be.
Well, I mean, I'll just say from my perspective, you know, as a Black woman, being represented in any medium is such a gift. And anytime somebody comes out to me and they like, now that I see you doing it, I think I can do it myself. Because I grew up in a time where there were not many people on television or in movies or on magazines who looked like me, and I dared to do it anyways. And so I know that, thank you. And so I really do appreciate the opportunity that I'm given to have a platform, to be on a show that has such a broad audience, and I get messages on the daily from people who are just like, because you're doing it, I actually feel like I can do it. And because I don't, physically look like the women that you've seen play on TV, because I'm tall and I'm curvy, it's just like, what's going on? So that in and of itself, that I don't look like everybody either it's like a full circle kind of inspiration. So it means the world to me to get to have a place in this industry and to get to be somebody that, I just played a character where I was an archaeologist, and I thought to myself, there's gonna be a little black girl who's gonna think, oh, I wanna be an archaeologist. And when I was growing up, there was nobody that looked like me playing archaeologist. And so that really affected me and made me want to do the best job I could. And I really appreciate that opportunity that I've been given. Thanks for your question.
To address the no makeup Saturday thing as well, because there's something really amazing about these women, because I am wearing makeup because of them, which is an interesting thing, because we've had discussions for years now in green rooms and stuff. I generally I had a lot of bad associations with makeup, including I had a boyfriend once who was like, don't leave the house without lipstick. I'm like, can you never do that?
You don't leave the house without lipstick, mister.
That's right. Thank you. And so there was a lot that, to me, and also there's so many things that mean so much more to me, and causes and goals and whatever. And so I didn't want to confuse priorities in my life of this is not the most important thing. But I also learned in our discussions, but yeah, you can wear makeup, it can be a self-expression. I'm never going to be able to express myself the way that these women do. They're artists with it, but I'll put a little, smudge a little eyeshadow on. I can do that. And so I started to not think, blanket think about it, where I was like, no, sometimes I can wear makeup, and that's okay. So it's actually, I want to give you the nuance of the fact that I know that it's not just an anti-makeup sentiment. It's you do you and enjoy it and be empowered. And also, I do firmly believe, I will say, one thing I will take a stance on is we are so powerful as women. There's so much good that we can do in the world. If we are constantly distracted by worrying about our looks, our weight, our makeup, or whatever, we're not going to get as much good done in the world. So let's. But you all should speak to this more.
I mean, I love that. I love that you guys did that, because I woke up late and I was like, great, this worked out just fine. This worked out just fine.
I will just add to what Rachel's saying is, the wearing no makeup thing was a decision that I did for personal reasons that have to do with my daughter. I won't go into the whole story of it, but basically my daughter was starting at a very young age to feel insecure about the way she looked because she couldn't wear makeup. And I was like, girl. And so I felt like I could do more, so I did more. And that's what we would all do, right? That's what we would all do. But also, Kim and I have had the discussion a couple times where we've noticed that people have mentioned to us that they feel, maybe a little insecure when they're around people who are, more adept at putting makeup on. And I will speak for myself. I just wanted to make it very clear that makeup is fun. Makeup is a joy. It is the part of your self-expression. It is not who you are at your core. You know what I mean? And so if I can stand up here and be who I am at my core, you know, more physically for you, I'm more than happy to do that. Oh, does anybody else have to pee? Don't pity me. But how much longer do we have?
Yeah, I don't know, it's 12:03. How long
Somebody
are we
answer
here?
me. How long do we have?
But also, like, 2 minutes.
Krista?
We gotta get into the question.
That's the schedule.
Well, don't answer if you don't have the answer.
So yeah, stay for 2 minutes. Otherwise, we can ramble and like.
Right here, no, we have to get one more.
Question.
Okay. I'll answer with Brianna in the next one.
I have a really quick question, and you guys, like 5 minutes. This is about your character. Who does your character either have a secret crush on, or who do you see your character involved with on the show?
Secret crush or involvement? That was the question.
So you're asking about self-shipping.
No, I feel like.
I mean, Deb is an equal opportunist, so I think Deb is like everybody.
I self-ship a lot.
Everybody all the time. Yeah. I'd hook up with Amara, I'd hook up with Chuck, I'd hook up with Jody, I'd hook up with
Maybe all at
everybody.
once. Who knows?
All at once. It would be a free-for-all. I'm like, I'm dead, yo.
What if we hook up with you? Do we die?
It could be a Black Widow kind of situation.
I'm not entirely clear. It's always
That's probably why I want to be with you, is I'm like, it could just last forever.
I like it.
you so sweet, Dad.
I just keep bringing her back to life. You know.
I think it's something unusual because there's all the usual answers.
I just have this, like, the kind of the obvious, like Jody and Bobby, old Bobby though. Old Bobby though. There was a weird reluctant attraction there.
When you knew
The
that
question is, who does Donna have a crush on, or who do you see her hooking up with?
Did you see?
Don't die.
Quick Jello shot in the bathroom. Yes, Jello shot. Did you guys see the episode where they went to Donna's cabin and the poster was on her wall? Yeah. Oh my god, I laughed so hard. And what did Dean say? Well, Donna has a type. And it was just like a bunch of like Burt Reynoldses. Just like a bunch of like big hairy dudes with mustaches and like. Okay, real talk. Who would Donna be into? What character from the show? I mean, Jody. Obviously.
That was where I was going. I was like,
Yeah.
Bobby, and now that he's dead, Donna.
Yeah. I think that's obvious, right?
I also have to hook up with Crowley because we just never got to see that again. You know, so let's just hook that up, lay that down.
And Dean.
I feel like it's so obvious to me wanted to be with. Like, that was pretty. Okay, I'm thinking cast all the way. I think we're all. But that said, like, if that was not a scenario, I think it's a free-for-all. I think it would be really cool.
It's like Baskin Robbins, but more than
How many sweets would you like, Donna?
I mean, you know?
Load me up, baby.
I think Vegas kiss like all the guys, right? Like that's.
Well, it's about time to change that up then, isn't it?
That's right. I need to move forward.
Hey, perfect timing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hi.
Is it time to start spreading the news? Thank you, Bill. I hope. your favorite hits from all of the cons for all of the years. This is one of those songs.
This is actually the first single from the album.
It might be the first single. This is the costume contest, boys.